of the day. What is the matter with you? Hi, welcome to Kick-Ass Switch, putting the K in Magic. My name is Joanna DeVoe, and you are watching a video about what is the matter with you? What is the matter with you? And I actually don't mean that how it sounds. I'm not asking you what's wrong with you. I'm asking what is the matter with you? And to explain a little bit better, let me call on Dr. Google. I have a definition here for you. When I put the word matter into a Google search, this is the definition that comes up first, and it's the definition that I mean. A noun, physical substance in general as distinct from mind and spirit. And I am so excited to talk. Let me shut this window. I'm so excited to talk with you today about this because it's something I have been thinking a lot about this month. I am writing a book, a long book about my formula for magic. In a nutshell, if you listen to me, if you've been listening to me for a while, you know what my formula is. It is to know, to dare, to will, to be silent, to go, to know, to dare, to will, to be silent, to go, to know, to dare, to will, to be silent, and to go. Basically is thought. Maybe your thought, if you're coming from a place of spirit, is an inspired thought. We go from our thoughts lead us into emotions. Our emotions lead us into action, the willpower of action. The action leads us into, hopefully, the manifestation. And you might recognize what I am saying. If you're a law of attraction practitioner, you might be like, that sounds very law of attraction-y to me. Or if you understand the witch's pyramid, you might be like, well, that sounds very much like the witch's pyramid. And you would be right in both cases, because what I did was mush the two together to create a formula that works with me. This is something that I have been doing, well, for a long time. It's something I've been publicly talking about since 2011 and refining over time. And the reason that I'm excited to talk about it today is because I had a lot of aha moments when I was working on my book and I was talking about to be silent. When I first came across this concept as it relates to witches and the witch's pyramid, it kind of threw me. Everything made sense except for to be silent, because to me it sounded shameful and paranoid the way it was frequently presented, because it was presented as to not tell anyone you're doing magic. I think this came about when people were persecuted for doing magic, persecuted for practicing the occult, persecuted for calling themselves witches. But I also came to see it as, and this is something that I do resonate with, as don't tell people that you're in the middle of a magic spell, because you need to sustain your faith. And it's really easy for someone else to poke holes in your faith and to plant seeds of doubt. So I totally get that perspective on to be silent. But ultimately, what it came to mean to me is to be silent in meditation, to allow, to receive. So I worked with that for a long time, and I've done little podcasts and videos where I'm kind of circling around this, and this summer, culminating in September, I was like, oh my God, I totally know what to be silent is now on a deep, deep level. And it's really about to allow and to receive, which is something you will hear all the time in the New Age community or the Law of Attraction community. And it's something that's become a bit of a pet peeve, because people will say, allow. You have to allow. And it's like, what does that mean? It's like you do your spell or you set your intention and you're like, okay, whew, I'm allowing. I hereby allow. Okay, am I allowing? Universe, I'm allowing. It's so like, it doesn't really mean anything to allow. And I feel the same way about to receive. It's like, well, I just did a money spell. Of course I want to receive that money. That's the whole point in doing the money spell. So in watching my own processes in performing magic and the ways that I've stood in the way of things manifesting, I have come to understand at a deeper level what this means. To me, maybe it will resonate for you. I think that old saying, be careful what you wish for, really comes into play with this, because we're not prepared for what is going to happen when the universe gets into alignment with what we are asking. Ask and you shall receive. Be careful what you ask for. So I think what happens is we ask for something pretty radical, pretty big. It doesn't even have to be radical or big. And then the universe starts reordering our lives, either to prepare us to receive that manifestation, to bring us up to speed with it, or to make way for it. So that could mean relationships start leaving your life, or a job, you lose a job, or your career starts getting really shaky, or you get an eviction notice, or something happens that triggers you into a state of fear. And instead of trusting and having faith and allowing and receiving this as a sign from the universe, it is the physical 3D reality, it is matter shifting to align with your intention. Instead of allowing this to happen, what we often do is we cling for dear life. We're like, no, I don't want that. Oops, my background just grabbed my hair. I don't want that relationship to end. I don't want that job to go. We get very fearful and we stand in our own way. And so we resist. We put up resistance against the very thing that we have asked for, because we don't understand. We're not allowing, we're not receiving, we're not being that silent observer that's going, well, I asked for this thing. Let me sit back and watch matter shift. Something that I said a lot, I went through a big period with this, and I still do this all the time. It was one of the themes of the autumn transition module that some of us just did in August. We made an altar to what is. I tell people to let what is be your guide. So what is happening in your life? What is the reality? And then you just assume that what is is guiding you because it's there. What is maybe it's there for a reason. So being aware and being mindful of what's happening to you allows you to make good decisions. This is especially important when you're putting a major request in to change your life. Changing your life is not, it's not a fairy waving a magic wand and all of a sudden you're in this fantasy. It's painful. Change is challenging for people, and it requires you to step up to the plate and maybe do some things that you didn't know you would have to do, things that are challenging for you, or even things you don't want to do. And it might mean making space, like I said. So sometimes, as painful as it is, that can mean recognizing this chapter is ending and I need to let it go in grace, and I need to trust that this is happening because of this request I put in. And that is how I allow. Instead of interfering with matter, with the matter, instead of interfering, instead of clinging, instead of panicking and freaking out when I start noticing the tectonic plates are shifting, oh my God, I just shift with them. I allow myself to be taken that way. Does that make sense? That is the entirety of this thought, and I'm gonna wrap this up succinctly for once. I hope all is going well in your world, and let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. I would love to hear your take on this. If it made sense, if you need me to further explain, let me know. Much love to you. Peace.